we're throwing a Halloween party. Okay, so technically the party already happened. It was last week. It was awesome. It was phenomenal, but I have a lot to learn. So this video started out as a throw the Halloween party with me, like come on this journey with me, but it's turning more into a this is what I did last year so that I can do better next year sort of video. Chris and I both really love Halloween. We both loved Halloween independently before we met, and then we have kind of been talking about throwing a Halloween party for a couple of years now, and this just happened to be the party year. Like, look, our decorations are still up because it's not even Halloween yet. I'm sure, you know, this video, who knows when it's gonna come out, hopefully before Halloween, but if you're watching this after Halloween, you just get to enjoy stuff as it happens post-Halloweenus. Oh, Halloweenus? I don't like that, but we're gonna leave it in because it's kind of funny. I don't want to keep you waiting. In this house we craft in pajamas, we also party prep in pajamas, so let's get this going. This whole video is about to be a giant jumble of Halloween mess, and I apologize for nothing. We start out with Chris. He's making these little cross thingies. They're gonna be like the structure that we're gonna make some ghouls on. Then, I've been scouting out frames at the thrift store for weeks, trying to find some that are big, gothic-y looking, and, you know, gonna do the job. This is the best I can do, so this is what we're going with, and I'm like, Chris, get out there and pull those little staples right out of those frames so we can put something else in there, also more frames. Next thing on our to-do list was send Chris out into the garage to make a throwing knife target. He did an excellent job. We have wanted a throwing target in our backyard like this for years, and so it's awesome to finally have it. Back to the smaller frames, obviously they all need to be black and spooky, and so I'm just spray painting everything and doing the best that I can not to overspray, but you know. Okay, we got this painting, and I just need to separate the actual painting. Wow, this is like backwards from what you think it is. I need to separate the painting from the like placematting thingy. I've got a couple of tools. This crepe thingy that Chris always wants me to use. I don't think I'm ever gonna use it. And this family heirloom spatula, which I don't think you guys are ready for the story of this spatula, so that will be another video. Psych, it is this video. Long story short, my dad used to pooper scooper the dog poo with the spatula. 20 years later, I'm cooking in the kitchen making some potatoes. My mom gasps and tells me that the spatula I'm using to cook with is the pooper scooper spatula. I was mortified. And what's worse, we had been using it for years. Obviously, it's been through the dishwasher many times, but it's the principle of the thing. And you know what's crazy is that we still have it. It's no longer in the kitchen, it's in the garage, but I've warned you all, I share too much sometimes. I'm back. Dinner is almost done. We need to finish spraying these bad boys. Chris has the baby until bedtime. I feel like an unhinged Laura Ingalls. Let's do this. These are my knees from being on the ground. Following up those shenanigans with a little bit of basting adhesive spray stuff and some black velvet because I want to make this big skeleton in the frame and I want there to be like a black skeleton void behind him. Or not skeleton void, but a black velvet void right behind the skeleton. This is the best way to do that. And while all that is drying and adhering, I've decided I'm going to use this hospital sock to paint these dowels black. This is going to go on my front porch. It's going to be like, I don't know, kind of spooky, but also a little bit lame. So don't get too excited about this part. But the hospital sock worked really well, and it didn't really even get through my fingers all that much, although it kind of still did. I just poked those skulls down into the planter out front, and it was a major success. I work on projects in tiny little 20-minute segments now. So Chris mounted these like skeleton hands onto the back of these little wood plaque thingies. I just need to spray them the same color black because I've sprayed everything else. So I'll just be taping off the little hand parts so that I can paint the wood. So that's where we're going. That's where we're at. I went ahead and covered up those hands with plastic bags and was just kind of like careful about how I covered it. That way when I sprayed everything, it was pretty uniform and didn't get all over the hand because I didn't want it to look sloppy. By that time, the frames were dry, so I decided to just go ahead and assemble them. Harder than it looks, you guys. Harder than it looks. I had about 10 minutes before the baby woke up, so I decided to jazz up these frames with a few little wooden filigrees just to make them more interesting to look at. After baby Ronan woke up, we turned the printer on and I showed it to him for the first time. He was very unimpressed. It's a slow printer. This is part of the Halloween project that I have not really been looking forward to because it involves dyeing stuff in my bathtub, which is something I used to do all the time. But now that I'm a homeowner and a mother, I'm like, who is out here dyeing stuff in their bathtubs, you freaking psycho crazy people? It's me not loving it. But I think it will be for the greater good. So I've got 2 heavy canvas drop cloths, a metal spoon, and a random assortment of darkish colored blues and blacks and browns and purple dyes. I'm just gonna mix them all together and say, I hope it works, because we're only doing this once and I don't even want to do it the one time. I do need to clean my bathtub out though. I don't know if you can see all that. It's gross. Maybe it's TMI. I'm dirty. No, just no one uses this bathtub, like, ever. So it gets kind of gross. Okay, we're doing this. Let's go. I 1000% should have just left the canvas the color that it already was, because I don't know what I was thinking, but purple is a really powerful dye. So even if you just put a little bit of purple in dye with like a lot of other colors, you might very well still end up with purple. And I did not want purple. So unfortunately, here we are with this stupid purpley colored fabric and a purpley tinted bathtub, because why the heck not make things harder for myself? Because once all of that came out, I had to bleach the bathtub, which needed to be done anyways. I know, you guys, I'm disgusting if you don't know that already, but it just sucked. The next day I headed out back to play with some cool power tools and try and assemble my ghouls. I followed a TikTok tutorial for how to make these, but it is still very much trial and error. Just when I start hitting a stride, I remember I need pool noodles, duct tape, and a knife. A knife! Whew, out of breath. Oh, you want to see a new cat? There he is! Hello, little kitty cat! You're brand new! Chris saved him from the road when he was at the paint supply store, so I guess we have 3 cats now. I'm fine with it, because they all live outside and catch mice. Okay, where are those pool noodles? Whew, really need to start working out. Got 1, 2, 3. Craft powers activate! My craft powers did in fact activate, and I got straight to work draping these little thingies and making them look spooky as all get out. I ended up having to do it over again though, so whatever. I got as far as I could on those ghouls, and then Chris started working on the skeleton frame, and while he did that, I kind of cleaned up the yard a little bit, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of it, because there was a lot of work to do. Next thing I knew, baby Ronan was up and needed a bottle, so Chris hung up the little skeleton guy in the place of honor, and eventually we made it out into the backyard. The cats came with us. Look at them frolic. It was adorable. You're doing great! I promise you, we needed these sticks. It's very important. Before we could work on any more Halloween stuff, we really needed to paint our house. We live in a log cabin, and so the outside needs to be like restained or repainted every few years, and it was overdue. So this absolutely had to happen. While Chris worked outside, I did my best to work inside, taking care of the baby, watching him with my ever watchful eye / putting him in the baby jail, and trying to like decorate a little bit. You guys, I'm not a very good decorator. I'm very much a student when it comes to decorating and interior design, but if there's one thing I know how to make is a shrine, so that's what we did to our mantelpiece. Major shout out to my mother, who is the queen of shrines. I have to document it because my page is slowly becoming more you doing my projects than me doing them. Sometimes it just makes sense for Chris to do things instead of me, like pouring concrete. I mean, he's really good at it. He's just a natural talent, and he's just like really good at like that kind of stuff. Anyways, here I am playing with the baby. He's so stinky cute, you guys. Listen, I'm very creative and extremely capable of doing things, but sometimes Chris can do a job in 2 minutes and it will take me an hour, so it's a Chris job at that point. With the leftover house paint, we decided to just spray it onto our ghouls. Is it ideal? No, I kind of wanted them black, and now they're kind of a little bit brown, but it does match the house really well, and it makes the front porch look really awesome, so we just accepted it as fate. And then the ever-resourceful Chris Army Knife drove them to the front of the house in his lawnmower and was like, "Bring out your dead." Hilarious. And then I just watched him set them up. But then he started doing the fun part, which is adding the like gold and patina onto the statues, and I was like, hey, you know, I kind of actually wanted to do that part, but he would legit not let me do this part because he was having so much fun, you guys. I wish I was kidding. Then all the feminism started coming back into my body, and I was like, I'm gonna get some things done. So I got up into this ladder, and there's like a little hook in the tree, and we did some stringy, wiry stuff. Wires, that's what we did. I ran a wire from the hook in the house to the hook in the tree to the hook in the house, so it kind of makes like a V kind of shape, you know? And you guys, I belong on the ground. I do not belong up on a ladder. Chris is the one who belongs on a ladder, and he would not do this for me. I don't blame him, but like, it would have been nice. But in all honesty, Chris was very busy doing other things. Remember those giant cement blocks? Yeah, they're these cool tree thingies now. While we had all the power tools still out, Chris went ahead and assembled our porch furniture while Ronan and I just kind of played on the porch furniture. And then we customized our rug because I wanted the rug to go around one of the poles that's like in the porch. It'll make sense when I show it to you guys later. Unless I don't show it to you guys later. Anyways, here's some cats. The baby finally went down for another nap, which means I was about to get to work putting this photo gallery together. My idea is that when the guests walk into our house, we have a little front entryway area. I want it to be full of like spooky Halloween pictures of my family in black frames. Like, the idea is simple, but it's totally there and it's totally solid. It's just taking me forever to put together. Anyways, remember those cement blocks and remember those like little stick tree thingies we made? Chris painted 2 white and 2 black and they're going to go on our back porch and it's going to look so good. I am stoked about them. And the best part about them is that we got these sticks from our backyard. So like they are very much a part of the landscape and maybe we'll keep them for Christmas because there's just kind of like a spooky vibe to them. But if we hang some ornaments or something off them, boom, multifunctional. I love it. Welcome to the worst angle of me ever. I don't care. All right, we've got these little heads, some creepy cloth, and I'm just remembering now that where did I put my chicken wire? I think my chicken wire and my pliers, my pliers are inside, so I gotta go get those. And then it's ghost making time, so let's get into this. Wow, this really is the worst angle possible. There's no making it better. Oh, that's so much worse. Girl, I need to start lifting weights. I'll do that later, but for now we're going to drill a bunch of holes into our wall in the front entryway and then we're going to just hang up some little pictures and we're going to put the cat in a little carrier and just keep it around with us. Oh, cute little squirrels. I eventually got around to making the ghosts. Basically, I just made like a chicken wire frame for the body and the arm and then I attached a styrofoam head on top and then covered it with a little bit of cheesecloth, and by a little bit, I mean a lot of cheesecloth. I think they call it creepy cloth. It's not exactly cheesecloth. Like, they're 2 different things, but some people, I mean, they're not interchangeable. But if you're in the market for it, you can use both of those words as descriptors to find them. Anyways, we're hanging up those ghosts on the wires in the front of the house. I got them both looking so good, and then like 2 nights later, we had a giant, massive windstorm, and it like broke the wires. It was devastating, but we did fix them. This is what it looks like at night before we put the little spooky ghost light out there, so just take it in. It's beautiful. I love it. I just can't wait to have the party. This is what we've got. This is my planter. I use it all season long. Chris did something here, and now I have like a sturdy base. Oh, and I'm just remembering this pole still comes out. So before I start, I guess I should probably hot glue that down. My plan is to paint it black and then start drilling holes in like my little skulls so that I can stack them up, and then I can be done with this because it's taking me forever. Yeah, we were really getting down to the wire. The Halloween party is like in a week and I'm still out here just making yard decorations. Outrageous. Again with the sock and the black paint. You guys can't stop, won't stop. This is just the way that I'm doing things. But I have a bunch of these little plastic skulls from the dollar store. I've been collecting them for years thinking I was going to do something with them, and I mean, here I am actually doing something with them, and I love the way that it turns out. I love that there's 2, one on either side of the door, and that they're like kind of spooky, kind of like creepy, but I mean, they'll store really easy, and I can reuse these planters multiple times because I have them for like my 4th of July setup and now my Halloween setup, and I'm definitely going to use them for Christmas. Chris saw a vampire kind of decoration thing like on Facebook or something, and he was like, I'm gonna make that, and then he just made it. And I love the way that it looks. It's super, super spooky. We got all of our pictures hung up in our entryway, and then I decided to bedazzle the boob light just to make it look like maybe a little bit of a chandelier, and last minute I was making like 40 bean bags for this party. Entry, please. This is our front entryway. It's spooky. We hung up these like curtains, and I'm in my costume right now, and I definitely almost tripped on this rug, so I fixed that, and then I was like, oh wait, maybe I should just try that again. And entering the house, this is what our spooky skeleton guy looks like. His name is Walter, aka Wally. We've got stuff on the TV playing ambient music. This is the tablescape. I am so proud of it, you guys. More on that later. I made 2 pots of chili. I made a whole bunch of like treats and things. Obviously the guests brought things as well because it was like mostly my family and friends that were attending the party. Loving the tablescape, all the candles and stuff. Headed outside. This is what our deck ended up looking like. That side's not the most amazing in the entire world, but this side I'm super proud of. This is Chris's tablescape. It's cute. The little hand and like the planter thingy. And then in the back, we just have a few little like places to sit, places to hang out. If you're seeing what I'm seeing, then you know we are headed straight for that bounce house because I absolutely rented a bounce house for this party. You can't have kids over at your house without giving them something to do. And what better than to get all their energy out on a bounce house? Plus, we got it for the entire weekend, and I absolutely played on it. Then Chris's friend showed up, and he apparently is like a bubble master. You can see him. He's like dressed all in white. He has these 2 fishing rods, and they have like, look at it, giant bubble action. The kids were dying over it, and when you pop them, it's like this giant booger falls from the sky. It was amazing. This is so much fun. And it was so much fun. Like, this is just the very first part of the party, and then I put my phone down and did not pick it back up, so I don't really even have any more footage of it. Luckily, other people did take pictures and stuff, and they were super, super cute. Like, my guests came over and stuff, but then the party was, like, over, and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't record anything. So here we are after the fact. These last couple of clips are really just for me for next year, just as reminders. Next year, make sure that I glue these plates onto something because they were kind of falling over all night, especially this one. That one tipped completely over. What else? Put something in here other than just this little thingy. Like, that sign is cute, but like, oh, also this. Okay, I'm all over the place, you guys. Dry ice. I tried to get dry ice. They don't sell it like just readily available. It would have been perfect to have dry ice just like right there. Actually put salt and pepper in the salt and pepper shakers. Chili, 10 out of 10. No regrets there. Like, it was so, so good. Everybody loved it. I think that's pretty much it. Oh, also, have the party go a little bit later because the sun was just barely going down when everybody was kind of leaving, and they missed this whole ambiance, and like, we had quite a few lights that no one even got to enjoy. But that's for next year. The party was awesome. I genuinely had such a good time. Family, friends, food, fun. It was great. Really, really great. Things I would change or modify for next year. I feel like now that we have a lot of our main decorations made, we won't have to make them next year, which is going to be really nice and save us a lot of time because we'll mostly just be able to put things up. And just putting things up will take us like a couple of days versus building a lot of stuff that took forever. The bounce house was awesome. We'll definitely get another one of those, but I think it needs to be much bigger, like adult sized. I want to play and bounce on that house without like getting stuck in spaces. I'm 6 feet tall, so like a kid bounce house really does not work for me, and I feel like a lot of the adults would have really enjoyed bouncing on the bounce house if they fit into it. I think my biggest complaint about this year is just I did not take very much video. I didn't take very many photos. I didn't take any pictures actually, and the only videos I have are the ones that I showed you guys. Why did I go to all of this work to throw this party and then I didn't like capture the memories at all? Part of that was because of the costume that I chose to wear. I wore my Morticia outfit, which doesn't have any pockets. The wig is like really, like, it's just too long, and so I ended up putting it into a braid. I felt like that looked stupid. The dress just trails behind me, which is great until I'm trying to like get around and do stuff, and then it's like kind of a trip hazard. So next year, different costumes, more video. Maybe this is a sign that I need to just have someone there to take video and picture. This is the whole video. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed making it and having the party. This is good information for next year. Great information for next year, in fact. Really quick though, I do want to show you guys this up close. This is the Ronan ghost. This is the me ghost. This is the Chris ghost. His is the only one I would change. I wish I had done a different face for his face. Our little ghost family. So cute. Well, yeah, that's the video. If this is the video that you subscribe to me on, I will be very surprised. This video is really mostly just for me, for research purposes for next year. So if you watched all the way to this point, thank you very much. That's very kind of you. Like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Instagram. Pretty sure that's all the things. In this house we pajamas. In this house we pajamas. No! In this house we craft in pajamas. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you want to see how I made the costume that I wore to the Halloween party, go ahead and tap the little thingy right there. Just tap it. Just tap it. And you can watch how I made this Morticia outfit. Pretty proud of it. Pretty proud of it. Although, the video's embarrassing.